With machine and enchantment of the Maykrs, the Argenta brought our newfound clarity to the disparate realms of the Empyrean Void. We took flight with the support of our gods, spreading the enlightened word of the Kahn Maykr. I thought I was playing a fucking video game. Hi, my name's Ross, and do you know how to read? Me neither. I was recently playing ID Software's new game, Doom Eternal, and one of the collectible items in this game is pages from an encyclopedia of the game's lore. I don't know the logistics of Sentinel culture. I don't know why the game got rid of the little ab window that showed Doomguy's abs. I don't know, who cares? I don't give a
By the Nine Divines!
However, I started reading the codex of the game and I discovered there's actually some pretty cool shit in there. In prehistoric times, there was a giant slab of metal and steel that impaled the Doomslayer's home planet. Kahn Maykr, the evil space angel that destroys Earth, apparently has a dad. All the members of the Night Sentinels, aka Doomslayer's race, are supposed to have pet dogs. But to get to the cool information in the codex, you have to go through a lot of bullshit. Like, a lot of bullshit. I'm talking encyclopedias on the history of every race in the game, Wikipedia entries on all the cities and all the home worlds, biographies on every character, bibliographies? So today we're going to condense all of the lore in Doom Eternal's codex into one tiny little convenient video. Mind you, this is the first Doom game I've ever played, but I think I got the gist of it. Now you might be asking yourself, Ross, how are you qualified to do this? Didn't you just say that this is the first Doom game you've ever played? This is the first Doom game I've ever played. That's true. For one thing, I beat Doom Eternal. More importantly, I spent the entire past week making my way through every single page of the codex, and I didn't like it. But I knew that I couldn't be the only one that was interested in Doom's lore but didn't feel like reading the transcript of a Ken Burns film. The way I'm doing this is breaking Doom's lore down into 3 simple categories: people, places, past. Fucking forgot to take off my glasses. I'm not redoing that intro. If you're like me, you booted up Doom for the first time and you went, whoa, this is a crazy video game. This video game's crazy, but how'd we get here? Get off Wikipedia. Don't even worry about it, because I read the entire history of Doom's lore, and it's too much. But here's the basic gist. First, you got the history of Earth. There's not much going on, don't worry about it. 60% of people are dead and everything's really sticky and hot and bad. Next, you have one of the more confusing timelines, the history of the Sentinel race. This was my face when I read the history of the Sentinel race in Doom Eternal. What? Because it doesn't make any fucking sense. It is said that the planet of Argentinor was impaled by a giant cosmic spear of stone and metal in times primordial. What the fuck does that mean, Doom? What do I do with that? Is it like a meteor? I don't think so. It would say meteor. It says cosmic spear of stone and metal. Don't worry about it too much. The main thing that you need to know is that the Sentinels started working with the Maykrs, which is a race of space angels. The Maykrs gave the Argent people the means to become the Night Sentinels, which means they got strong. But what? The Maykrs are bad, it turns out. So the Maykrs figured out that there is hell energy that demons extract from people's souls, which is cool. But the Sentinels were too tough for that stuff, and they waged a war against hell. But one of the Sentinels betrayed the other Sentinels, and he said, I don't want my son to be tortured in hell, so I'm gonna give a key to these guys, and then, all the Sentinels died. Also, another thing that I don't get is why are there still Night Sentinels on Sentinel Prime, and if they work for the Hell Priest, why don't they kill you when you come in? Because you're definitely going to kill their boss. Okay, story of the Maykrs. These fucking guys. Maykrs are super powerful, long-living, angel-type beings who were created by somebody called the Father. The Maykrs have a de facto leader called the Kahn Maykr, who is reincarnated every 10,000 years and contains all of the what ID Software calls soul data in the universe. If you're wondering what soul data is, doesn't say. One of the Maykrs, known as Seraphim, stole something called the Father's Essence that was kept in a temple on Urdak, the home planet of the Maykrs. 3 main takeaways with the Maykrs. Evil space angels, betrayed the Sentinels, daddy issues. Up next we have the story of Hell, which doesn't make sense geographically. So Hell is another realm in this world, known as, I think, the Dark Realm, and here's how it works. So the realm of the Maykrs exists on a higher dimension, And the realm of hell exists on a lower dimension, and the realm of earth exists right in the middle. Essentially, the hell priests who are currently working for the Kahn Maykr are performing something called a blood ritual, and this is going to prepare a planet to get absorbed into the dark realm, which is in a lower dimension. There's not a lot of specific figures in history for the story of hell because it's hell. I did find out that in Doom Eternal there is a character known as the Dark Lord, aka the King of Hell. He's not in the game. Only important thing with hell, that's where Argent energy comes from. And they harvest that from souls in something called a soul factory. If the human souls are rejected and can't be harvested, then those souls are tossed into something called a blood swamp, which is rad. Up next, you've got the places of Doom Eternal. I don't know that all of these are very important, and they're not in any very specific order because I got really bored. First, you've got the cultist base. Sentinels made it. I hope that's true. Sentinels don't live there anymore. Now it's the bad guys. Urdak. I thought Urdak was a city. Turns out it's the heavenly world of the Maykrs. Fucking whatever. Necroval is a city in hell where the Maykrs built their soul foundry, which is a cool phrase. The Citadel, aka the Tower of Babel, is the building within Necroval in which human souls are harvested. There's a whole Doom wiki entry for how this works, but don't read it. It just made me sad. You've got Argent Nur, which was the former home world of the Sentinels, since swallowed by the Dark Realm, which I'm still not 100% sure what it is. Sentinel Prime. Sentinel Prime is basically the place where you find the Colosseum where you have to fight for your life, and it had a boss in it that made me poopy in my pants. Phobos is a moon of Mars in which the Union Aerospace Corporation conducted experiments with Argent energy, and also you get a big gun there. Sentinel City is... It's not called Sentinel City, it's called Exultia. Exultia is a city in which you talk to King Novik, who comes to you like a Lego Star Wars ghost, and he gives you something called a celestial locator, and you use it to track down the Hell Priests like Dragon Balls. The Fortress of Doom is just your big spaceship. It's your big spaceship. Some of the stuff goes down super deep rabbit holes that you don't want to get into. Just don't look at that. Don't look at that. Look at me. Don't worry about it. And that's all the places in Doom Eternal. But the only place that I'm concerned about in Doom Eternal is the space it's taken on my Xbox 360 hard drive. So I'm not going to talk to you about the enemies. I'm going to talk to you about this guy and this girl. And whoa, who the heck is that? Stop, don't ask that. I'm going to tell you. First off, you are doomed. Doomguy is what you are called in some realms of the internet. Doomguy apparently shares a lot of human DNA. Also, is thought to be a god. So you wash up on the sunny shores of Argent Nur and prove yourself in combat, and eventually earn a place in the Sentinels ranks. Now, I've seen some theories on the internet about your guy being the same guy that's in Doom 1, and Doom 2, and Doom the reboots, and Doom with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I don't care. You don't need to worry about that. All you need to know is that in Doom 2016, you were brought back to life, and you kicked a bunch of ass, but you got betrayed by a robot who we'll get to, and you got locked away, and then you woke up later and the Earth was being invaded by boys. You have a robot assistant named Vega. You remember QWERTY from VeggieTales? It's like that. Basically, Vega was the first fully independent AI, and also, it might be the father? Basically, you plug Vega into a flash drive port on the planet Urdak, and he does that, and he says, "I'm the father?"
Am I the father?
I guess. Next, you got Sam Hayden, who betrayed you in the first game, but now he's just an old, dead robot who's also in half. King Novik is the dead leader of the Sentinels, who in the beginning of the game doesn't want Doomslayer to try to save humanity, and he says they need to pay penance. He's basically hazing the people of Earth. But then at the end of the game, he says some shit about you are the protector of the people of Earth, and it's like, it's consistent lore. Valen was the Night Sentinel who betrayed his own kind to the demons of hell and the Kahn Maykr. His reason was pretty good. They were giving him images of his son whose soul was being tortured in hell for eternity, and they said, if you want your son to be alive again, just give us this key to the eternal sepulcher. Is that what it's fucking called? So he did that. His buds got killed, and then they turned his son into the icon of sin, which is an incarnate being of suffering, which is tight. The Hell Priests. There's 3 of them. I don't remember their names, and their goal is to perform a blood ritual to absorb Earth into the Dyson vacuum that is the Dark Realm. It's so hard to tell who the fuck these people are. I thought the Hell Priests were a different breed of demons for a while, and then I thought that they were Maykrs, and I still don't know for sure. Now, it's worth mentioning that there are a few things that I tried my best to read in the codex and just still don't understand. For example, what is the Empyrean Void? What actually is the Dark Realm? Is it hell? I don't know. Where's the Dark Lord? Why doesn't he have a stake in what's happening on Earth? Shouldn't he care whether or not he gets to absorb this planet? He doesn't appear or do anything, seemingly. How could Vega be the father, the leader of the Maykrs, who first appeared millions and millions of years ago if Vega was made in the last few decades? What the fuck are Outlands? What the fuck are the details in the blood ritual? How does that work? These seem like important details, and I don't know them. So that is the past, places, and people of Doom Eternal. Did I cover everything? Fuck no. Did I cover the important stuff? I hope so. Was I wrong about some of it? Almost certainly. But if somehow you got absolutely anything out of this video, here is a link to some other spoofs and doofs and goofs. Also coming out either soon or it's already out, I don't know. But on this channel, Video Chums, I'm going to be doing a gaming news show, and that's going to be weekly. So subscribe to them. I will be over there doing that thing, and I will also be over here still doing this thing. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. I love you. Have a nice weekend.